On Instagram, Amanda was untouchable. Her posts sparkled with captions like "A queen never begs, she commands," and "Ladies, make your own money, never depend on the man for survival." Her live sessions had become ritual for thousands of women who tuned in faithfully to hear her voice. To them, she was bold, fearless, and independent. But behind the camera, Amanda's truth was far from the glittering illusion she fed her followers. That evening, she sat cross legged on the bed of her two-bedroom apartment on the island. Though the apartment looked expensive, it was barely furnished. Just a mattress on the floor, a ring light in the corner, and piles of wigs and shoes scattered everywhere. She scrolled through her bank app and sighed. The balance was less than 30,000 naira. Rent was due soon. Her landlord had already called twice, and the new Bone Street wig she had her eye on was trending all over Instagram. To keep her image alive, Amanda knew she needed more than just her tiny influencing gigs. She needed serious cash. Her phone buzzed. It was Alexander, her millionaire lover. He was in his early 40s, unmarried, but in a serious relationship with a wealthy lawyer's daughter. Everyone knew he would soon settle down. Amanda knew too. But she didn't care. She was not the woman he wanted to marry. She was only his plaything. And as long as Alexander gave her money, she was willing to play her part. "Baby, please now," she said softly over the phone, her voice nothing like the commanding tone she used online. "I need just 2 million. I want to furnish this place and I need to change my hair. You know I can't be looking cheap when people are watching me." Alexander chuckled, but his tone was sharp. "Amanda, do I look like a fool? You think money grows on trees? You only call me when you need something. Don't act like you don't know what this is." Amanda's face burned with shame. "No, baby, it's not like that. You know I care about you." His voice cut through her excuses. "Stop talking rubbish. Be at my apartment in 30 minutes, not a minute late." The line went dead. Amanda's chest tightened. For a moment, she wanted to throw her phone against the wall. But instead, she stood up quickly, grabbed her designer handbag, and adjusted her wig. Within minutes, she was in an Uber heading to Alexander's luxurious apartment in Banana Island. As she rode, her mind played tricks on her. What if he refuses to give me the money? What if he embarrasses me again? But she swallowed her pride because deep down she knew she had no other option. When she arrived, Alexander barely greeted her. He sat in his living room drinking whiskey, scrolling through his phone. "You are lucky you didn't come late," he muttered without looking at her. Amanda forced a smile, walked over to him, and placed her hand on his shoulder. "Baby, you know I appreciate you. I just need your help." He sighed, glanced at her, then handed her his ATM card. "Don't abuse this. Withdraw 2 million. But remember, when I call you, answer. No excuses." Amanda's heart leaped. "Thank you, baby. I promise you."